booktube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. There are so many new faces. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining me in my bookish journey. I debated about making this video, but then I remembered, oh, April will be here before we know it, which is crazy. I feel like we still haven't really had winter here yet. I don't know if it's all coming in April or what, so we'll see. So I'm just gonna do a brief reading update and then we'll get into some of the things I have planned. So I am reading this collection of short stories still, The Wind's 12 Quarters by Ursula Le Guin. Better picture there. And I've been reading this with my friend Mark. So we're reading it in 5-story increments, but the last 2 stories are gonna be on their own. So we've read the first 15 stories, and there's I think 2 more left, including the one that some of you have talked to me about, the Amalas. I don't know, but what's unusual is to see me reading anything that is like science fiction, fantasy kind of stuff. I have to say though, Ursula Le Guin, she is such a gifted writer. I mean, there have been times where I have read some of these stories and I don't even think of them as science fiction or fantasy because there's so much about people. They're really about relationships. They're really about connections between folks. So it's been a really fascinating journey. I wasn't expecting to read this year, but yeah, so hopefully by next Friday I will be done with this collection of short stories, which is cool. And then for March of the Mammoths, I have been reading The Last Chronicle of Barset by Anthony Trollope. This is the last book in the Barsetshire Chronicles. And I have 160 pages to go. I will finish this by the end of March, so I am super excited. I have to say, even though I still have 160 pages left, I have been really surprised. There have been some things that have happened that I did not see coming. Sometimes Trollope will kind of break that fourth wall, if you will, and talk to you as a reader and say, don't worry, like everything's gonna turn out okay. And I know, like, I think one of his books, the last chapter is, and then everyone got married, something like that. So it's a little bit unusual to be so surprised. I didn't feel like there was any like foreshadowing or anything like that. And wow. So yeah, I mean, well done, Anthony Trollope there. But I will be making a separate review about this whole series. I'm going to try to make part of it spoiler free so that those of you who haven't read this will hopefully want to start. And then for those of you who already have read it, we'll have a spoiler section. But okay. So yeah, I should have 2 books finished a week from today. So hopefully. Anyway, and the Last Chronicle of Barset is in this little journal. If you're new to my channel, I just want to make sure that you see this. So I went through and watched all of the haul videos that I have made since being on booktube. And I wrote down all the ones that I hadn't read. And then I found these cute little star stickers. And so I've been going through and I'm trying to make the books that I have hauled, and it could be from a little free library, it could be from a used bookstore, it could be a gift, I could just have bought it. But anyway, so my focus for this year is to really try to read the books that I've hauled since I started my channel in 2018. Now, the books that I get this year are going into a different a different page of the journal. So I went to my used bookstore. We've had a little bit of drama there in the last year. I did pick up Call It Sleep by Henry Roth. So the reason why I wanted to read this is I first heard about this book in a documentary that I absolutely love. And if you can find it, I would so encourage you to watch the documentary. It's called Stone Reader. And it's a book lover making a story about books and one specific book in general. And they brought up Call It Sleep in that documentary. That was the first time I'd ever heard of it. So this was initially published in 1934, and then it got really good critical reviews as being like an American Jewish classic, but it didn't sell very well. And then in 1960, Irving Howe and Leslie Fielder, and in the documentary, they interview Leslie Fielder, and they wrote reviews of Call It Sleep and brought it back to life. And you can see it's this, nearly 1 million copies in print. This was the first book ever to be a paperback that was on the front page of the New York Times book review page. So anyway, I've always kind of this is the cover that they show you in the film, and it was $1 with my credit. And so my used bookstore, you always have to pay something. I don't know if you can see the spine though. Can you see that line right there? So when I open up the book, like there's certain places where it feels like it's never been read. The spine's really tight. But there's this place where this starts right here. I kind of feel like it's got one read left in it. That when I read it, it is actually going to break apart. I'll be adding that to the 2024 section of my journal. There's some other books I purchased, but we're not going to talk about those right now because they're for another time. Now, April is almost here. I can't believe it. And in April, one of the many events, I don't know, the one that I'm most familiar with is April People. This is hosted by two fantastic booktubers. I'm sure that you are familiar with them. Roz at Scally Dandelion About the Books, and Elizabeth at Bookhans and Books. Roz is a British booktuber, and Elizabeth is a Canadian booktuber. And they're both just absolutely lovely, lovely ladies who felt like there should be some more non-fiction related events on booktube. And so April People April People is about biographies, it's about autobiographies, it's about memoirs, letters, essays, and it just so happens that on my library cart, which is right here, I have a few things picked out. I'm not sure what's going to happen. There's one I am going to read. So, in April, I am going to read H is for Hawk by Helen Macdonald. I know, I'm the last person who has not read this book, but I've heard so many great things about it. I'm just really curious, and I was like, that would be a good book for April People. So I'm excited to read that. So that's my main priority. I have a couple other books though that if I can get to, I would like to. So one of them, this is a book that Jason got me for Christmas a couple years ago. The Year of Lear by James Shapiro, Shakespeare in 1606. So in 1606, I still can't believe this, Shakespeare wrote King Lear, Macbeth, and Antony and Cleopatra. Like, how? How is that possible? But anyway, so, you know, it's a not a complete biography, although we don't have one of those when it comes to Shakespeare, but what was going on in England in 1606? What could have been going on with Shakespeare? So I'm very excited about that. If you are new to my channel, new to booktube, there is an event in September called Shaketember. And it is a month-long celebration of Shakespeare, and we read a play a week. I do not know what plays we are reading yet, but I would just want to plant the seed that maybe mark that on your calendar. Another book, which I have shown you guys before on my channel several times, is Little Weirds by Jenny Slate. This is a collection of essays. You know, the font is pretty good sized. The essays are not long, and I do really love Jenny Slate. So, yeah, so I think I should be able to do that. Now, there is a couple other books that I would still like to get to. So, the first one you're going to laugh at me about, but Mother Angelica's Private and Pithy Lessons from the Scriptures. So, a friend of mine gave this to me for Christmas, a very dear, very Catholic friend, and she is about to have a joint replaced, and I'm quite concerned for her. And so I was able to talk to her on the phone this week and told her, hey, I'm going to read that book you gave me soon. So Mother Angelica apparently had her own TV show. She taught tons and tons of Bible studies with other nuns, with, you know, with different groups, and she did all these Bible studies. Anyway, but she also had her own TV show, which is how most people know Mother Angelica, or at least what some of you have told me about Mother Angelica. But apparently in some of these Bible studies, someone somewhere was tape recording it. So her lessons in here are all things that were never on the show. Raymond Arroyo, I think, went through the tapes and transcribed them. And so, yeah, so again, there's just these little tiny snippets. I might not finish it till May. It's okay. I'm not too worried about it. But I don't really feel like it fits for April people, because it's not about her. It's her thoughts about scripture. I don't know. It seems a little out there for the other one, but H is for Hawk. I feel like I'm good. I'm good. I can check that out. And then finally, another book that I will definitely be reading in April, and I am doing this as a buddy read with somebody who sadly doesn't have a channel. I wish she did, but we are going to read Mary Barton by Elizabeth Gaskell. So we're continuing on with the Victorian theme. You're going to see it again. You're going to see more Victorian literature this year on my channel in future months. But anyway, so I'm super excited to do this buddy read. Elizabeth Gaskell and I have a very complicated relationship. I love a couple of her books, and one of them, the third one that I've read, I don't love. And it is very loved on BookTube, but I can't help it. I just don't love Wives and Daughters. So we won't go into all that now. But my friend Jo Smith has, I think, read all of Gaskell. And so she told me she thought I would really like Mary Barton. So that's that's why I got it. It'll be a very exciting April. And it will be such a big deal to have finished this book because this was my #1 reading priority for 2024, was to finish this series. And so there's 6 books in the series. I read book 4 in January, book 5 in February, and now we're going to be finishing up the last one. So as far as I'm concerned, after I finish the last Chronicle of Barset, everything else in the year is bonus. It's just gonna be great fun. So I do have what I'm calling my absurd TBR for 2024. If you want to look and see what other books are on that, I made a video, but there's also, if you follow or friend me on Goodreads, you should be able to see it and see the books that are on it. So you can kind of get a sense of what's ahead. Although some things, like what Shakespeare play I'm going to pick for Shakespeare, I still don't know. So anyway, I would love to know what you are reading. What events did you participate in this month? There were so many booktube events this month. Booktube, I look forward to your thoughts and comments about what I'm reading, what I'm planning to read. Are you participating in April People? People April. Whatever it is. So yeah, I'm really excited about all the different things that have been happening and are happening. It's just the year I feel like is reading wise and booktube wise is getting off to a great start for me. So anyway, again, I would love to hear from you in the comment section. If you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, you can leave an emoji, or if you just want to say hello, give this video a thumbs up. Booktube, remember to be kind to yourself. Super hard to do, I know. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.